Hey, it's Matt Moscona. You found it. It's AFR LSU, your home for daily content on your favorite team, Fighting Tigers of LSU. And we're proud to be presented by BetUS, where this football season, get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use the promo code YouTube150. Now, enjoy the video. Shea Dixon, good enough to join us as he does every Tuesday. We'll talk a little portal. Shady, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, Matt? Happy New Year.
Thanks, man. Same to you. So LSU's at 14 portal additions, and I kind of heard rumblings that maybe they got some silent commits that they're waiting on, but my goodness, they're like rolling in 3 more targets this week to campus. Can you make sense out of what they're doing? Like Brian Kelly said, they'd probably settle somewhere around the 15 number, but they keep bringing in more guys. Why?
I think just to take swings at positions you still need. No doubt safety is the priority. They do not have a pure safety committed at this stage. And early on, there were guys that they felt like they were going to land, others that they felt like would go into the portal. And I guess the most notable probably was Poyser coming out of Jacksonville State. He kind of immediately visited LSU, but it ended up being Miami that got him. From there, just Matt, they're like Caleb Downs, and these guys aren't entering the portal this year. So when buzz happens around teams out there of very talented safeties, guys with upside, multiple years left, experience, that it's suddenly you look and Tennessee, A&M, Florida, whomever it is, and LSU certainly, but relative to the discussion of trying to find safeties in the portal, these teams have buckled in and kept a lot of their notable guys. So we'll see. This week will be one we watch with, as you said, a safety, a couple DBs coming in, a tight end coming in, which we know has been a priority spot for him. And Brian Kelly himself said that O-line is still something they want to go for with 2 guys left. So they're at 14. I, too, had heard it was 15 before it was publicly said by Kelly that was the range. But getting to 15 is a start, obviously, and we could certainly see him eclipse that.
You mentioned guys with multiple years of eligibility. Shea, do you think this is sort of like signaling a change in approach a bit, going after guys in the portal with multiple years of eligibility, so it almost feels like you're not resetting so much of the roster year after year after year?
Yeah, I think in a way they kind of did that at quarterback, right? If you want to give like an example of Michael Van Buren, he was a freshman. He played at State whenever Chapin got their starter. Quarterback got injured, started double-digit games for State this past year, and was a highly touted recruit coming out of high school. And now he's the backup quarterback to Garrett Nussmeier, and he has multiple years left. So with Nuss only having 1 year left, is Michael Van Buren the heir apparent? Do they sign somebody? Do they land another portal guy next year? We don't know, but they'd at least set themselves up very well with the guy they know, hey, he's got a few years left, and if he takes over next year, great. If it's the year after, we don't know, but either way, he's on roster and you feel a bit better about the position. But I also think the flip side's there, Matt. There's some intrigue in guys who only have 1 year left because, let's say, the head coach really loves Matt Moscona, but he's a true freshman, and we need to really kind of develop him. Well, then you bring in Shea because he only has a year left, and you can get him on your roster and then off of your scholarship count and NIL and everything else in 1 year, and that buys time for you to step up and start at whatever position it might be. So there's a lot of that in play. I think guys who are talented, instant starters with a year left, teams that actually do recruit well and are trying to develop guys, they're quick to go after that type.
Yeah, Moscona, high upside, lots of potential. I
put me in the sort of, I'm just bridge the gap to you.
Got to do that. We'll get right back to the video. We've told you all season about our great partners at BetUS, but you may not know that at BetUS, they also have a casino, and right now, they're giving you an awesome opportunity for all of our followers here on AFR who like slots, live casino dealers. You can take advantage of BetUS's amazing sign-up bonus, 200% up to $5,000, or 250% for crypto sign-up bonuses up to $5,000. You know, I love my crypto as well. Discover BetUS. The casino playground is there for you. If you're a slots enthusiast, BetUS, they've got the games to raise your pulse. Test your skills with timeless classics. You can explore the newest, hottest slots and feel the casino buzz with BetUS live dealer tables. Sign up now and get 200% sign-up bonus up to $5,000 and 250% crypto sign-up bonus up to $5,000. It's at BetUS. Discover the BetUS Casino Playground. Hey, let's talk about Tamarcus Cooley and Keontae Scott, the DBs that LSU is bringing in. Thoughts on those guys, how they might fit, if you think LSU lands one of them?
Yeah, I think at this stage, at least based off of kind of what I've heard so far, is that a priority target is Cooley. Well, he is a safety in the eyes of the LSU staff. NC State had all four of their starting DBs enter the portal, all on one day, too, which is a big blow. So all these kids are visiting different schools, a lot of them with SEC schools, but Cooley was at Ole Miss yesterday. I guess he'll probably leave today. He'll be at LSU next, and then on his schedule is Missouri and Kentucky. So you'd have four SEC schools if he goes through with all of them. But 6 foot, 200, started plenty of games. I know PFF is, you can use it when you want to use it, and when it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't. But for what it's worth, he was the highest graded guy on the highest graded player on their defense this past year at NC State. So he'll be one to watch, I think, because they've got to find at least one safety. And as we learned a year ago, you hate to go into the spring portal season with a real need. So I think they want to come away with this safety here. And as you said, multiple NC State guys, and then Donovan Green, a tight end, who coming from A&M was just freshman All-American. He was a big-time recruit. And then he got injured, and then out a year, and then last year he played this past season, played special teams and in a couple blowout games, and I think he just needed a fresh start of, hey, look, I may not be back to where I was as that elite five-star type guy that A&M grabbed, but LSU just needs some depth at the position, and he's a guy who I think if healthy or even at 80% of what he once was, is a pretty talented prospect. So we'll see how the week goes. Maybe they do keep the 15, 16 guys, and I think that LSU's goal, Matt, right now, and we'll see them battle Ole Miss a lot in the portal. They have already, but that's where Cooley, the safety we mentioned from NC State, is, and he was once committed there out of high school before he decommitted and then stayed closer to home. So if he gets out of Oxford without signing and ends up coming to LSU's campus for that visit, that's notable because it means he's certainly open to what LSU's pitching, which is a chance to start.
He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon, On3 the Bengal Tiger. One more quick follow-up on Green. Why would it make sense for Green to come to a spot where LSU's already added Bauer Sharp and you've got Trey'Dez Green? The path to the field doesn't exactly seem clear.
I think he's just looking for a fresh start, and the path in the field at A&M this past season was no more clear for him. But at the same time, if he's in a new environment, look, you say that, but in reality, Trey'Dez is going to flex out and, you would think, be that pass catcher that we saw in the bowl game, right? And now, granted, he was in line on that play where he sold the block and then released and got his second touchdown, which was a really nice play design and call. But primarily, you're trying to flex him out, mismatch him. So who are your tight ends? And beyond Mason Taylor, remember, they've lost a handful of guys. Markway, Gilbreth, I mean, they were running border on them. And there is sort of 6 O-linemen that were, wearing tight end jerseys, basically. But I would think that he sees it as, look, Bauer Sharp has, a year left, maybe?
Right.
2 years? I don't even know if he's got multiple. But at the same time, hey, I can come in and compete with him. We've both got experience, and if I can get things right, then I can be a pass catcher and an inline guy, because you're talking about a guy that's well over 260 and is seen as someone who can do both. So there really just isn't much depth in that room if you kind of consider Trey'Dez isn't going to be doing much inline blocking for you. Right now it's just Bauer Sharp and whomever else they decide to put there. So I think there's still a little bit of appeal there, especially for a guy like Green.
Shea, one guy if you jump back to safety that I get asked about all the time, I'm sure you do too, is Jacoby Matthews. I'm curious what you've heard at all there, if anything.
Just nothing ever got off the ground there between LSU and Jacoby, who obviously came out of Ponchatoula. I didn't really hear anything kind of from the start of that would be a target. And as time went on and the need for safety continued, that hasn't changed. And I really have not, Matt, seen anything out there about which teams are on him. So I don't know how that one ends up after signing with A&M. And I believe he, after that, went JUCO. I haven't kept up with it closely.
He didn't play football this year.
Okay, so he just sat out. That maybe explains a little bit more of why we haven't seen teams left and right that are very much out there and needs Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss. I mean, that might be the higher level teams, but at the same time, they have a big need at safety. And I haven't seen his name pop up anywhere. So that's curious to me. I've not thought about that one in a few weeks here.
Shea, is there any other name or position or something you feel like we should be keeping an eye on right now as LSU seemingly puts the finishing touches on this portal class?
I think safety and tight end, obviously, and if some best available comes out here, because remember, the portal's closed, but for every team that played in the bowl game, when your season ends, you get 5 extra days there for a kid to enter the portal. LSU's 5 days are up now. We'll see if anybody else pops up, but that would have put them at 19 guys leaving. And I say that for this is that if everyone that's currently announced is staying, they're still looking for a tackle. And they've been high on Tyree Adams, and we know Weston Davis was a 5-star, but it seems, could you put Weston Davis at right tackle next year and feel good about it? I'd say they'd probably say yeah, but their portal approach is aggressive enough to where they're going out there and trying to say, hey, let's keep adding starters. We added a center, we added a guard. That's the 2 transfers on the O-line so far. Can you add a guy at right tackle or left tackle that's got proven experience and, again, maybe bridges that gap a bit more and but maybe even more so competition and puts you in a spot where next year you're competing or expected to compete, right, Matt? If this is a really impressive portal class after a really nice signing class of high school guys and a returning starting quarterback who's considered arguably, maybe against Drew Aller, and I don't know what Quinn Ewers is up to, but one of the best quarterbacks in college football next year, I would have to think that sort of their moves here are showing us it. And if they add another lineman, that they're pretty bought into winning, literally, next year.
Yeah. Oh, man. A tackle and a safety, and you are like starting caliber players, right? And you were looking a lot like, say, Ohio State or Ole Miss did at this point a year ago, coming out of their portal cycle. So
that's what I've been most impressed by is all that this group, Matt, is all the majority, not Ben Buren, let's say, but 90% of the 14 guys they've taken are, you would look at them and say they're probably going to start, if not compete to. And that wasn't the case for the prior classes. And they had to take a lot of guys 2 years ago, but last year I think they took 7 and maybe a few of them started, but you might get close to 10 starters out of this portal class, which is the definition of what Brian Kelly said of being aggressive. They've lived up to it.
Shea Dixon, On3, the Bengal Tiger. You'll get him on Twitter at Shea Dixon. Go read his stuff there at On3. Shea, we appreciate it, man. Thanks again. Happy New Year.
Yep, Happy New Year, Matt.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, hit the bell so you're notified when we post a new video, and remember to support BetUS, where right now you can get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150.